how do you answer the question, why are you doing that in software development? As in, why am I even working on this? I like to use a Seamap instead of a roadmap because a roadmap has this implication that we know where we're going, where we are, and exactly how to get there. Software development is mostly exploration. It's a process of discovery. Like sailing a sea? Maybe. I don't actually know anything about ships except that they're cute. But let's go with that. A Seamap has several parts. One is the high-level objective, pictured as a star. And I get this phrase from the book Obliquity by John Kay. Short book, highly recommended. There's an Audible version. There's two important properties of a high-level objective. One, it's never reachable, and two, it takes you in an interesting direction. So this is like your company mission statement. For Apple, this is make great products. For Google, this is categorize and make accessible the world's information. For Walmart, save people money. For the U.S. Veterans Administration, serve and honor our veterans. Now, none of them are ever actually going to reach that objective. It's horizontal. As soon as you get close to it, it moves. That's very important. So as soon as Apple releases the next iPhone, they've upped the standards for great products again, and then they get to make an even better one. It would be sad if you reached it. Your organization would have no reason to exist. It's more like a quest, like in Man of La Mancha. This is my quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far. He doesn't do it because he actually thinks he's going to get there. He does it because, and I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, then my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. Ooh, that's too low for me. What he wants is to die happy, okay? But you can't just aim to die happy. So instead, he aims to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to bear the unbearable sorrow, to reach the unreachable star. Right, so he aims for that because he knows if he does, he'll die happy. Dying happy is an oblique result of his quest. Because what you have to watch out for is there's some things you just can't aim for directly. So if you think your company's objective is to make great profit, well, that is a crappy objective. It doesn't take you in the right direction. It takes you straight into this whirlpool. Because then you're like Lehman Brothers, right? And what do? You hire a bunch of people who care very much about profit. And guess whose profit they actually care about? Their own. And so they get a big exit and take all the money, and you go bankrupt and your investors are screwed. Dude, if our companies were all aiming for profit, then they would be indistinguishable from each other. No. You've got to have a high-level objective that's your own, that takes you in the direction that you find fulfilling. And profit is a necessary state of continuing the journey toward the star. But if you can't reach it, that's not very actionable, right? What are you supposed to do next? So you set some goals. These are like milestones that you can reach. Might be a week out, might be a year out, whatever. But you believe that that goal is in the direction of your star. It moves you and the world the way you want to go. And then you can set as many sub-goals as you need to. And then eventually drill down until you get to the next action you want to take. So here's you and your team in a little boat moving toward the next goal. Sometimes you're on your way and you encounter a monster. Oh my gosh. The other day, and I was coding and I was trying to interact with the Travis API, and some of its methods require authorization and others will fail if you give it authorization. Really? And I used to get mad at these things. It's getting in the way of me doing my job until I realized, no, Jess, this is your job. Your job is discovery. And you've just discovered something. There you go. You've learned you can go around that monster. Sometimes you get too many monsters. What do you mean you can't run Docker inside Docker? Why is this so hard? Sometimes you're like, let's just see if we can find another island over there. But you want to get somewhere that you can push to master, that you can dock in port and be done with something and take stock and make a new decision. Other times, you encounter a storm, right? There's like some clouds. You're not in a necessary state. So this is when the build is broken, or there aren't enough tests. You can't move forward until the storm clears up. So you fix the tests and you fix the build or whatever it takes to get you to the next state. And then you finally get there, you climb up the mountain, you look around. Is the star in the same place? Are these goals still reasonable? Is this still the most important thing we could be doing right now? Example time. Personally, my quest is to change the way we do software in the direction of relentless automation. One of my goals was to speak at Go to Chicago. I did that this week, and as part of that, I wanted to talk about these Seamaps, but I didn't get to, so lucky you, I'm making a video instead. And in the direction of making the Seamaps, my action was to cut and glue. I love cutting and gluing, so this clearly made me happy. At the same time, it worked me toward the star of changing the way we do software. I work at Atomist. I'm very, very aligned. We have the same high-level quest. At Atomist, like at work, my goal is to implement a software delivery machine that people can clone and then run and then change and automate their own delivery process. As part of that, our next task is to do some integration tests so that we can reach the necessary state of not breaking things. And the next action that I want to take on that is to make a Docker file for the tests themselves so that we can get them running on everyone's machine. As software developers, our high-level objective is to operate useful software, not to write it. It's only useful when it's running. So our goal, our milestone, might be the next user-facing change. And that breaks down into sub-goals. And you want to get to a sub-goal that you can push to master, hopefully at the end of the day. Because then you can take stock, you can look around, you can be like, is this still the direction that we want to move? So there we are in the boat, testing and coding. On another level, we have objectives that are not user-facing, that are about how do we improve our boat? How do we make the sea calmer? How do we make our own work better? How do we continually improve and keep up? We want to work smoothly. Now, watch out. I very carefully set this horizontal goal as work smoothly, because if you aim to work faster, you will fall into the whirlpool of crappy code and broken tests and no automation. And the faster you go down into the whirlpool, and it just gets worse, and pretty soon you can't get anywhere. You can't get out of it. Faster is a trap. Smoothly is worthwhile. So if we want to work more smoothly, our next high-level goal might be to automate code standards. I don't know. I just made this one up. That's one. Maybe I want to enforce code standards, not by people, but by robot, because then I don't have to get mad at anybody for nitpicking. So I might make an automation that keeps file headers up to date. That's a pretty easy one to start with. And to do that, I might code in my software delivery machine from Atomist. See. In general, this is just a sample. Make your own Seamap. You don't have to make it out of felt. I draw these on my iPad, or you could even make a document. Oh, but at least make a drawing, because then it's two-dimensional and it's so much more fun. It doesn't matter. The point is, define your high-level objective, define your goals and your sub-goals and your necessary states. When you hit a monster that's not in the way of you doing your job, that is your job when you find that surprise, because software development is discovery. And remember, we're sailing someplace that we never want to reach, but use it for navigation. And if it starts leading you into a swamp, choose a different goal, maybe even choose a different high-level objective. We have choices in this. Have fun with it. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable